Okay.
Okay.
So a couple things. So when it comes to ads, one of the best things to understand, and I'm sure you would know, but one of the best things to understand is that ads are not for immediate purchases. Ads are to bring in leads for future purchases. So for example, over the course of, a year and a half, I have, through the course of using ads, I've grown my Facebook market from 1,000 friends to 5,000 friends. I'm now maxed out on friends. Obviously, I haven't sold 4,000 challenge packs. And so, but a lot of those people, because they follow me, they are always they're future customers. And so it's the same idea with ads, is that what I need you and others who will potentially watch this video to understand is that ads are not meant to be that, oh, I'm going to make a sale this month. Yes, sometimes it has happened. I will tell you that is the minority of the time. A lot of times this is oh, I'm investing for future sales, for future prospects, for future leads. So, okay. So basically, when it comes to running an ad, you want to make sure that before you get started, make sure that you have your photo ready that you want. And then when it comes to photos, understanding that you want something that's natural, that's real. I've tried professional photos, and honestly, sometimes my most real, everyday selfie photos do the best. I was actually just sharing a post with another group, just saying, wow, I have this post that I look really nice makeup, dolled up, and it's not doing as well as the other one that just has very kind of not as much makeup, just really hair crazy. That's doing a lot better than my other ad. And both have the same content, the same message. And so you want to make sure you have a good photo. If you're going to put any text on the photo, it cannot be more than 25% of the photo. Otherwise, you'll get, Facebook won't accept it. And you can't have any before and afters, and you can't have anything that looks too muscular or too perfect body, especially if you're using someone else's ad or someone else's picture. Sometimes in the beginning, when I first started, I used stock images, and they actually did really well. But now, now that I have my own photos, So the two ways, what I like to share, show with people is how to do your ad on a power editor. So I think what I want to do is show you how, and a couple of things, a couple of tips when it comes to running an ad. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for your ad to get accepted, depending on the language and depending on the words that you're using. Facebook doesn't like you targeting like gender, doesn't like you targeting, weight, doesn't like you targeting like unnatural results, like lose weight, lose 10 pounds in 10 days, like that will get denied. But sometimes some things slip through and you're like, oh, this slipped through. That's really interesting. This never went through before. And then sometimes I have also found that I'll have an ad running and I've actually had it declined, or I've had it denied like a week into running it because they either reviewed it again and even though it was accepted in the beginning and it was actually like a good ad, they denied it. Or sometimes when I go in to re-edit the wording, maybe just change a date. Maybe I had a start date on it. So when I go to renew it, it won't get accepted. So I've been through, all the frustrations of running ads, and it's just, finding the language that's going to work. So when it comes to ads, there's two ways. I like to do it through Ads Manager, and I like to use Power Editor. And the reason why I like to use Power Editor is because if you just go through ads, like let's say you are on your business page and you want to just, for example, let's say I wanted to boost this ad. If I wanted to boost this photo, I could either click here, boost. The reason why this is very limited is because when you click boost, it only is going to allow you to, when you go to target people that you choose through targeting, it's only going to allow you a very specific, it's not going to give you as much as if you were going to the Ads Manager. This version, this way is only going to give you the option of age, gender, and interest, and that's it. It's not going to give you demographics like if they're engaged, if they're married, if they're single. It's not going to give you work demographics. It's just going to be strictly interest, age, and gender. So it's a little bit more limited than if you went through the ads manager or through Power Editor to actually narrow and make your and actually create your target audience. So that's why I don't do that. The other reason why, actually I shouldn't say I don't do that. I do actually boost ads. The way that I decide if I'm going to boost an ad, because I would like to say there's two kind of functions of ads. Number one is your challenge group ad or your coach application ad. That's like asking for people to join your challenge group. That's for asking for people to join your coaching opportunity. Another way to utilize ads is just to bring more eyes to your page, to potentially come and like your page, and to potentially bring more traffic to your page. So let's say you go ahead and you have an ad that's doing well. Like right now, this has nine likes. Or, or even, this ad, which has, this has no likes, this has just me. So this is not like a good potential boost. But this one, like, let's say this actually gets to like 20 likes. I could potentially, consider boosting this for $5, $2, because I know that it's attracting my regular market. And so what I could do is actually boost it even more to bring more people to my page, just to bring traffic to my page to come and say, hey, who's this girl? And then that's the potential of them looking through my other posts. And potentially, if I have other posts where I'm staying consistent with inviting, that's another way. Or maybe I have a before and after picture underneath this photo. Before and after pictures are not, allowed on Facebook ads, but that's one way around Facebook ads, is that you run an ad and you bring them to your page and you have like a before and after with the call to action. That's another way to kind of utilize the idea of ads. And so I do that. So when it comes to boosting, when it comes to creating an ad, like I said, you go to the ads manager, and I like to use Power Editor, and I like to create my ad in Power Editor, because if for whatever reason Facebook denies my ad, if I created it on my page, I cannot go back and edit that page. I have to delete it. Sometimes I'm willing to do that, and sometimes I'm like, well, I don't want to delete it. It already has like 10 likes or whatever. And I just want to keep it. But if you create it in Power Editor, if you actually create the ad in Power Editor, you will be able to go back into it and edit it. So that's one of the main reasons why I like it. The second main reason is because you can make what they call a dark post on Power Editor, which is that it will be an ad that doesn't actually show up on your news feed of your business page, but it still shows up on the news feed of other people, and it still brings them to your page. But it won't be on your, like, let's say you didn't want to have a really salesy ad or a salesy post, join my challenge group, whatever, etc. You can run it as a dark post. It won't be on your news feed, but it will, it'll still be running through the Facebook media world, and it will look as if you had posted it on your news feed, but you didn't. And it will still bring people to your page. So when it comes to, ads, so basically you want to open up your Power Editor, and you can only open up Power Editor in Google Chrome. You cannot do it in Safari. You can only do it in Google Chrome. And so you would, open up your Power Editor. One of the first things you want to do when you go into Power Editor, as I'll show you here, is that basically this is a snapshot from the last time you went into it. So you need to download to Power Editor. This is updating where you were from last time. So this shows you I last went into this 18 hours ago. So anything that has happened between the last 18 hours ago and now is not updated in the Power Editor at this time. So the first thing you do is you go in and you download any data, any new, data that has happened on your ads, you would download into Power Editor. And so that's what I do. That's the first thing I do as soon as I walk in. Even if I was on it this morning, as soon as I log back in, I download for the last couple hours. So now this is this is current, this is up to date. And so depending on what you want to do, if you are creating a new campaign, so the way it works is that you have campaigns, you have ad sets, and you have ads. Campaigns it's just the general name. Like, let's say you're going to do a coach ad, or you're going to do 2016 coach ad. It is just the general name of your campaign. The reason why Facebook does this, again, is because, remember, it's also for businesses. So let's say you have, the January burst. And let's say you want to sell hats and shoes. So you would have January burst, and then you would have separate ads for hats and shoes. So this is a function of how you have to build this. And so when you're ready to create your ad, you're going to create a campaign. And so you'll go ahead and you'll create your campaign. You'll click campaign. And you have to create it up. You have to click it up here. So you create campaign, and you have to give it a name. And so you're going to create a new campaign. I'll make one. It's going to call Join My Team. Because I'm actually going to try to make an ad right now. So Join My Team. You always want it to be you always want the buying to be auction. You never want it to be a fixed price. I never really touch that. Auction just means that Facebook will utilize it to the best to be able to show your ad to as many people as possible. And so you want it to be on auction. And then in the campaign, the only other thing that you set is the objective. There are several objectives as to, what is the reason as to why you want to run this campaign. For many of us within Beachbody and what we're doing, we want a page post engagement. That is what we want, because that's something, we want to engage, within the posts that we're going to create. So that's what we're going to do. In here, you can also choose an ad set. So basically create your ad set for Join My Team. I typically will name it the same. I Join My Team ad set, and then you're going to create a name for your ad and Join My Team ad. So then you're going to create it. Once you're going to create, click create. Once you're in here, it's going to come up and it's going to show you, see, you're in the campaign. And over here to the left, this is campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So you're going to create your campaign. It's already set to an auction and a page post engagement. That's all you do within the campaign. Then you click into the ad set. You're going to click into the ad set, and it's already going to pop up that you need to go ahead and set your budget within your ad set and set the schedule as well as set the audience. Now, this is, for me, a lot of fun. So what I typically do, and that is where you always set the budget, and the audience is within the ad set. That is where you would go to edit it in the future. If you want to add more money to it, you would need to go into the ad set of it. And so I will do a daily budget, or not daily budget, I'm sorry, I do a lifetime budget. And so I will, let's say I choose to do, $50. And I will schedule and start it. So if this is for now, and let's say, schedule it to run till tomorrow at 2 a.m. And so over here, your estimated daily reach, this is how many people based on this money that you would spend, that you would reach. That's a lot of people. So now the next step is to edit your audience. This is where you have to think about your target audience. I'm a healthcare professional, and so I tend to market to healthcare professionals. There's a lot that you can really narrow. What I want to highlight to you here is this potential reach, which is 186 million. You want to narrow this down to about a million. I narrow it down to about 1 million. So that's, narrowing it down. So you think about, okay, who is it that I want to market to? I tend to automatically will click on gender. That already narrows it to 100 million. That's still too many. I will then choose my age. So let's say, 30 to 32, women who are 30 to 32. That's still a lot, 6.8 million. Now what I want to do is detailed targeting. So this is new actually since I last made a video. This is a new aspect in terms of how they're doing this. So this is saying include the people who match at least one of the following. So let's say I wanted to choose just healthcare professionals, which is usually what I do. I would click on demographics, and I would go to work, and I would go to industries. And within the industries, I have healthcare and medical industries, which would be physicians, dentists, nurses, nurse practitioners. So I would click on that. And they also actually have a nurses one as well, just because there are so many nurses out there. So I'm going to go ahead and click those two. And I'll go and check out, and look, it brought it down to 580,000. Between 30 and 32, there are 580,000 women on Facebook that identify themselves as some sort of healthcare worker or professional. I like to do it to 1 million. You can choose to do 500. The more narrow you are, the more if you kind of have an idea of, I want this person, I want them to be engaged. I want them to be this because this is who I want to market to. I want them to be a mom. You can do all that through the demographics. And you can include. Now, let's say you wanted it to be a healthcare worker or a nurse, and you wanted them to be engaged. So then what you would need to do, because remember, this is include people who match at least one of the following. So either one of these. Now, if you wanted it to be either one of these and something else to even narrow it down, you would click on narrow audience, and it's going to say, and also must match at least one of the following. So let's say I wanted it to be engaged people. I could choose relationship, and I would choose relationship status, and I can choose engaged. So let's say, when I get engaged in 2016, I decide I want to do, I want to just market to engaged people because I'm doing a boot camp or whatever, a bridal boot camp. That narrows it down to 28,000. So like, let's say if I wanted to bring that up, let's say I wanted to really, and you think about it, who are people who want to get in shape? Engaged women. They need to fit into their wedding dress. So this, between 30 and 32, that's really narrow, 28,000. And narrow is not bad. There are actually some coaches who will do really narrow, because at least when you do get that, that lead, that it is someone really within your target market. It just may be a little bit more money in terms of how much you pay for that lead. But there are coaches out there who will narrow it this much to 30,000, 40,000. So it's just something that you just have to play around with and say, okay, let me see how the quality of the leads, or do you want to cast a broader net and have a larger reach, and then kind of see who potentially would be interested. So I'm going to open this up a little bit more just to broaden it a little bit more. I'm going to choose 28 to 32, and it brings it to 54,000. I'm just going to leave it like this to show you. But the other thing I want to show you is that there's also, besides demographics, their interests. So, if you like Tory Burch, I like Tory Burch. If you like Ann Taylor, if you like Banana Republic, and you wanted to market to other women that are like you, what does the woman like you, or who your ideal customer, what brands do they like? Where do they shop? And you can narrow it by those types of people, because Facebook knows who someone likes or what someone likes and this is all based off of like pages and what people like and who they follow. So once you have this all set up, you're going to press save. And that's going to be, that'll be, and it says right here, and it tells you right here, it's only going to be 250 to 670 people that I spent $50 between now and the 29th, which is tomorrow. So between now and 2 a.m., if I spend $50, it would only potentially reach 250 to 670. What I want to show you, and this is why I do it a broader reach, is because if I edit this audience, and let's say I take away the engaged aspect of it, so that brings it to 1 million. And let's say I broaden it even a little bit more, because I usually will do 1.2, 1.3 million. You'll see when I save this, and you see how now it's 9.8, 9,800 to 26,000 people that my ad is going to go in front of. So to me, I'd rather be more broad. That's me personally. And so with that comes in mind that you're going to get a lot of interest. They're still going to be targeted, but obviously there's going to be a lot of interest and a lot of no's. But again, I really use this for kind of future leads. And so notice the difference in terms of your estimated daily reach and how that really increases when you broaden out your targeting. So once this is, then once I got out of that, you also can choose your placement. I don't do the desktop, and I don't do the desktop right column, because rarely are people on Facebook on a desktop. So I just choose mobile newsfeed. There is a new option here for Instagram. I haven't dabbled too much into it, so I can't really speak to it. I've done it once, but as I kind of dabble more into it, I will talk more about it. And then apart from that, after this, that's all you need to do within the ad set. Nothing else, nothing more. So remember, this is within the ad set. So then when you go to click on ads, this is where you're going to go ahead and create your ad. And so join my team. And so what you want to do, I have 2 pages linked to mine. So you want to make sure you choose the right page. And then it's going to ask you, do you want to use an existing post or do you want to create an ad? I told you I want you to create an ad. So you can create an ad here. One thing I want to show you is that, so this is where you'll enter your text. So, let's say, let me pull one of my texts from my other, just so that I could And when you're running a dark post, that what you just saw me do, which is I went into my page and then I went into my notifications, that is how you're going to find the engagement. Like when they leave comments, when they so like this person, for example, like this ad is a dark ad. I'm actually going to do this, I'm going to do a coach ad, but this ad is a dark ad. And so again, it was not going to show up on my news feed, but this is where I would go to see all the comments. I would have to go into the notifications and then click on it over here on the right in order to be able to see all the emails and all the comments and etc. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste this because I'm going to trial a new ad that I'm going to run. So I'm going to copy and paste this because I'm literally going to use the same text, and I'm going to copy and paste it into here. A couple things about coach ads or coach ads, and I'm just going to add some, is that I use a form. So when it comes to running ads, whether it's a Facebook group or like a challenge group ad or a coaching ad, I will always give them several ways to reach out to me. I will say, friend me on Facebook. And I will put my URL for my Facebook page. And the way you find this is literally by just clicking on your profile, and you would go ahead and click on your personal profile and you just copy and paste this URL up here. That is your URL to your Facebook page. And so I will say, friend me, here is my URL to make it even easier. You can see that since I've been running ads for the past couple of days, I have all these people here. All these are potential, these are all people who are friend requesting me. And so, from my ads, and these are all, tons of people, and I'm almost maxed out on my friends. But the good thing is that I have the option for them to follow me, which is something you can do in the settings. So even when they friend request me, they automatically are following me. And because my profile is public, my personal page, they see all my posts as well. So even if I don't accept them as a friend, because maybe I'm maxed out right now, I only have 100 more spaces left. So I've been, being a little bit more, just a little bit more particular about who I accept. But they still are following me. So make sure you have the follow option. It's in the settings. You can set it up, and make sure your Facebook is public. So going back to my ad, so like I said, I always tell them to friend me, because then what I do is as soon as they friend me, I immediately, when I accept them, I immediately send them a message, and I'm like, hi, I'm Stephanie. Thank you for your friend request. How can I help you with your fitness goals? Please tell me, what are your goals? I automatically assume that is why they're friending me. Why else would someone be friending me? And that is how I have been able to build my business and not have to go seeking people, in a sense of going and asking these cold messages of, hey, join my challenge group, or hey, how are you, and build these relationships. I bring the people to me. Yes, it's an investment for me because I spend a lot of money on ads, but for me, it's a well worth investment because I just then have to just focus on just accepting them and building the relationships that way. So I give them, friend me, comment below I applied, leave your email below, and I also have an application. You can do the applications on Google Docs or on Woohoo. I'll tell you the advantage of Google Docs, which I don't use, but it is advantageous, is because you can just have the same type. You can just have one application for challenge groups, one for coaching. And what it does is that whatever your questions that you ask, it automatically gets put into a spreadsheet. So it could be a running spreadsheet that you have, which may be something that's, more enticing to some coaches who like the idea of a spreadsheet, and that could be your running contact list. So like, let's say, you are like, I'm just going to always use these, I'm going to always use this application. It could be very simple. Like, what's your name? And have you ever used the Beachbody program? And what are your goals? And, how much time do you have? You could just ask 3 or 4 or 5 questions and ask them for their email. And then and it'll automatically go into a spreadsheet. Woohoo does a spreadsheet. But I don't know, there's something about the Google Docs, since it's going to be within the Google Drive, you can edit it, you can highlight it, you can, within the Google Drive spreadsheets, format. So that's something that maybe, some people may like. However, so I use Woohoo. You get 3 forms for free. After that, you have to pay for more. But it's still, if you're only doing a challenge group ad and a coaching ad, all you need are 2 separate applications. And so I always will leave that as well, leave your email below or fill out the ad. So that's my ad. Now, when it comes to the photo, there's 2 options. You can select an image, so you can download, so you can see. And what I like about it is that it saves all your prior. So, you can choose to use one of your prior, or what I also like is that there are stock images. So you can consider stock images. So like, for example, if I put fitness woman here, there's going to be all these different stock images that you could potentially use for free. So let's say you're someone who doesn't have a nice photo, you can use this and you could say, and think about who your target audience is. If you're an African-American woman or Hispanic woman or an older woman or a younger woman, make sure you choose someone that would appeal and look, and appeal to your person. Or depending on the words you use, maybe it's, get up and rise or something. You can choose something like the sneaker. Everyone has used this. I've seen this in so many different ads for like Nike, like all these different ads. But these are here for you to use. So that's something that's if you're someone who doesn't have a nice picture yet, or you just feel a little, you're just like, oh, I don't know about my own pictures, you can do this. And honestly, there's everything in here. Anything you type in here is, engaged woman, or, everything comes, fit bride, or, just something always will pop up. And so there's tons of different stock images. So in the beginning, I used stock images. In my first couple months of ads, I used a stock image and it did really well. So don't be afraid to use stock images. But just that, obviously if you can use your own photo, that's just better because you're showing you. And so what I'll do is I will probably upload one of my images. So I have I'm going to upload one of my new images. So you would just upload, and let me see if it shows up actually. I have way too many. Let's do this one. I'm going to do this one. I haven't tried this one, so I'm going to run this one as an ad. And I'll see. Everything is trial and error. I don't mind. At the end of the day, I always get a few likes. I can always friend them. And then you'll see over here what it looks like over here. So I'm searching for individuals to personally mentor, and this is my photo. And so basically, that's it. So now I've created my ad. Now, when it's time to finalize your ad, what you want to do is you basically click upload. That is your finalizing. And even this is already telling me, it's already telling me that this ad appears to use language not allowed in Facebook. So I may cancel out of this, and what I'll do is I'll edit, basically this is the ad, click edit. That's how you click into it. You can't double click into it. You have to actually click on edit. So I'm going to look at it. And I think what I did was I'm telling you, you have to kind of like know and play around. It's like you can't use certain words and so I'm going to say pounds. And when I go to see, now there's no error. Stupid. It's stupid. I know it's stupid. It makes no sense. But I've been doing this enough to know that, like, okay, there's certain words or certain things. So now it's going to, mind you, I may still get it denied, but at least now I've taken out that word. It doesn't like it. It recognizes, what Facebook has probably done is have certain trigger words that it recognizes as like, this is not going to get approved. This is not going to get approved. So anyway, so then you would press continue and it uploads. And now once it uploads, it's going to go to Facebook. And then you're waiting for it to be approved and it's in review. It takes sometimes I've had it in less than an hour accepted. Sometimes I've had 6 hours where it takes to be accepted. It all depends because there is someone who actually physically looks through all these ads. And sometimes that's even dependent on if an ad gets accepted, which again, I know is stupid. I've had one ad get accepted and I think I'm like, it must be someone who's a little bit more lenient or new who's reviewing this ad if it got accepted and then it later got denied. So once that's there, now let's say it gets denied. What I would do is I would come back into here, and it was, what was it called? I forgot. But basically you can search for your ads here, and you could search by ad name. And I will put 2016 to look for anything that said 2016 or new coach ad. But basically what you would do is you would find your ad and you can search for it by the name. You would click it, and again, you have to click edit to go back into it in order to edit it. And then you can edit it in here. Once you edit it, you upload it, and then it'll go back to the review process. And so that's how you would go ahead and just kind of, play around with it. Now, once that's all done, that's all really Power Editor is for. I only use Power Editor just to make my ad. And otherwise to review the data with my ad, I click on Ads Manager, and this will tell me all the data behind my ad right now. And when I say data, it tells me how my ad is doing, join my team. So right now, see, it says pending review. So now I know it's in review. But what I want to show you is that I have 3 ads running. New Year, New You, this opportunity post, which is 14 cents. So the things that you really want to look at is the cost per engagement. This basically, it says how much is Facebook charging to either that someone likes it, comments on it, or shares it. Those are the 3 ways that Facebook charges you. Does someone like it, share it, or comment on it? So for me, you want it to be ideally under 20 cents or under 17 cents. That's a good ad. This ad right here is not doing as well as I would like, but I'm going to let it run just because it's a little bit more of a narrow audience. But you could see that these are 12 cents, 14 cents per engagement, which is actually really, really good. And so if I were to click on this ad, basically I've spent $1,200 on this ad, since this ad started. And this is the other way that you can add money to it. Let me actually go back for a second, because I want to when you click into manage ads, it's going to immediately list it as a campaign. You cannot edit your money in this option. You have to actually click into it, and then it's going to give you the ad set, because I remember I said you can only edit it within the ad set. So now you see there's a little edit here that I can edit the budget and I can edit the schedule. So between December 27th to December 29th, that's today. But like, for example, November 3rd to December 23rd, I've spent $1,100 on this ad. To me, again, I know that's a lot of money for some people, and that's fine. And I'm not telling you need to spend that much money. I would advise, to take a quarter of what you make and at least reinvest it back into your business. But when I look at this ad that I was running, if I go to actually look at the ad, to me, it was very much worth the investment, $1,100, because it's 175,000 people saw it. 175,000 people saw it, 173 shares, 7,000 people liked it, and 182 comments. So these are all, obviously I didn't sell 182 pounds packs, but these are all people that I sent emails to that that are friends with me now on Facebook. They're now watching me. They now know what I do. And so these are all people for 2016 and beyond. So that's how you really have to view this and look at this. It's definitely worth the investment. And again, it's just a very simple ad. I'm looking for 10 women. Again, look, pounds, this went through. Why did this go through? I don't know. But don't get, what I want to share is don't get frustrated with the process. Just realize it is a process. But I use the same message, and they'll friend me, they'll fill out the application. And then what I do, and I'll show you on this end, you'll see all these people are filling out the applications. New Year, I've had 350 people fill out the application. And here they are, Team Healthier You Coach Mentorship. So this is someone who filled out the coach mentorship, and I've had 526 people. Now, technically, I will tell you, I do not go back and follow up as well as I should with a lot of these people. These are probably, and so that's something I need to work on more. But that's because I'm just always putting money into it. But let's say you don't have a lot of money. These, again, are really quality leads that you can build relationships with. You can continue to follow up with them, check in on them, and you can potentially, these are people I could potentially go back to follow up with. As long as you have a system of following up, those are going to be future purchases and future clients and future people that you're going to really help in the future. So that's my little thing on ads for right now. You have any questions that you can think of?
First of all, can I just say you are a phenom? My goodness gracious. I thought I had energy. You are doing it. Number two, I guess when I first started and I did the ad, I had an ad that I guess was super successful. I think you had given me the numbers, and I think it was like 14 cents, and it had like 400 and something likes, right? But I'm like, but they didn't fill out the form. What am I supposed to do with these people?
So,
I should have.
I would say, so because that happens to me too. So what I would suggest is, if you have 400 likes, what some people will do, especially if it was a good ad and maybe they didn't fill out the form, you can then, if they left comments and said, I'm interested or whatever, you can comment within the comments. One thing, let me show you actually, one thing that I do like. So you can comment on the comments. You can start friend requesting those people. Right. So like, let's say now, remember, you're supposed to be friend requesting 3 to 5 people a day. If you really want to be taking your business to the next level, 10 people, not 10, you'll get slapped on the wrist for 10, but like 7, 5 to, at least 5 people a day. So those are potential people you can friend. When they accept your friend request, send them an immediate message and say, hey, how are you? Thank you for accepting my friend request. I saw that you had liked one of my posts. Please let me know if there's anything I can share on my social media that would really help you. That's a nice, easy way. You're not asking them for anything. You're just asking for guidance on what you should be posting, because now you have a new follower. You have someone who's interested in what you have to offer them. So that's one way, is by using those likes and friending them and then building, so they're not lost causes. Or if they leave a comment and they're like, how much is this? Or, which I get a lot of, or this is, or I'm interested, I'll send them a comment and I'll say, please send me a message, or what is your email? And I will get more information to you. Another thing that I like that's newer, so I'll show you, like if I go to my notifications, again, this is how you find the dark post. So I'll click on this right now. So this is a new ad that I've been running for just 19 hours. And so far it has 303 likes, 2 shares, and I have 3 emails here. So, I think that's pretty good. It's doing 12 cents a minute. I've only spent $100 on it so far. It's going to, I'm going to keep adding to this to make it up to $1,000 over into January. But what I like is this option. So you can reply, and I like this option to message. This is new. So if you click on message, you'll notice that it actually will put the comment there. So it's not like, oh, who's this random person who's messaging me? You can say, hey, Sophia, you left your email, tell me more, what are your goals? And then it'll kind of reference that this is the post. So now you're not just this random girl who just messaged her and she's like, who are you? Trust me, I've had that too, where they're like, who are you? And I'm like, yo, you left your email on my post, not, you came to me. So I will tell you that. So now this is a new thing, which I actually think is really, really good, that you have the option. And usually what it'll do, and this is where Luke helps me. So for people who have spouses, this is where your spouse can help you. I will immediately, take this email, I'll copy it, I'll go right into, and this is literally what I do I'll take it into, we'll take it into our compose, and we'll add them immediately to our streak. We'll send them the first email of our script. And then once we do that, what we do is we go ahead and, where is it? And we'll reply to her and we'll say Sophia, because you can actually reply back to her, I sent you a message, I sent you an email, please let me know if you receive it. And then at least and that's a way for you to know, A, that you responded to that person, and B, for them to know that you actually replied to them. And C, I will definitely tell you that as you start getting more emails and more replies, people actually take notice if you respond to people. And so if you actually take the time to respond to people, I've actually had comments of people who will say, wow, you had a lot of comments and you individually responded to every single one of them. Like, that's really nice. That's really nice of you. You don't have to do that. So just little things like that people are actually watching.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think I take it back. My ad got a lot of responses, but when I went to look at the friends, I didn't want to friend some of them. Like,
So that is something where you have to really think about your target and who are you targeting. And with the targeting, you can target, again, you can target anything. You can target by financial. So I actually do target by financial, and I hate to say it, but that's just honesty. We're in a business. And so I don't target people who would claim or Facebook knows makes between 30 and 40,000 a year. I don't. I target higher. I target, 60 to 70,000 or between over 60,000 if they make more than $60,000. Facebook, through its kind of algorithms, they're able to know ideally how much people make. And so that's one of the ways that I narrow my audience. Another way to narrow your audience for better quality people, and again, this is not, it's just trying to narrow, and I'm not trying to judge or anything, but you can narrow by education. You can narrow by, college educated and master's educated, professionally educated. So those are different ways to narrow your audience if you feel like you're not getting the right, you're just not getting the right people. And that's okay. And it's just kind of really just kind of continuing and playing around with your targeting and saying, oh, okay, this is better. Or maybe you target registered nurses or dental hygienists or just more healthcare professionals or lawyers or just more professional people who potentially could use our help in losing weight. And they're great to just target for challenge groups because, again, there's two ways to really grow your business is really challenge groups are really great. They're great ways to bring people in, and you can always ask them at sign up if they want to join up as a VIP member, or you at least bring them in, have them buy a challenge pack and really just add value to them, really help them build those relationships, and then they can convert later. Because honestly, people who do convert end up being better coaches at times because they already believe in the product. They've already had results. It's a natural progression. And that's how a lot of top coaches you'll see that they recruit huge numbers. And it's not that they're recruiting 200 coaches. They're recruiting a lot of challengers, but they're also really good at A, being consistent in their challenge groups, and B, asking in that third week when that second Shakeology is supposed to go out, hey, do you want to get a discount? Are you really enjoying your Shakeology? Don't forget to ask those questions because that's ways and areas where you can convert them into a coach. So those are just different little ways. And so in 2015, I spent a lot of time just recruiting straight coaches, and it's a little bit more money for, in terms of engagement for that. But, at least they know they're coming in wanting to learn more about the coaching opportunity. And one thing that I would advise if you are doing the coaching opportunity is to consider a welcome email or a welcome video. Consider a video where you're just explaining, hi, I'm Stephanie, I'm Tony, I'm whoever, and I am, really interested in helping you. Let me tell you a little bit more about my team. And that's what I've been doing now. That's something I've changed in the past couple of weeks that has really helped. As soon as they say they're interested, I send them my girl boss video, which is just me outside explaining what I'm looking for, but they get to see me. And they really, they like my energy, and it's a little bit better than just doing everything via text and via email. One thing that I'm going to work on, that I'm going to have also in the next couple of days is I want to do one where it's like, hey, can you tell me information on both? Because sometimes I'll say, are you interested in just a challenge group? Or are you interested in coaching? They're like, well, what do you mean? So I'm going to make like a little quick video. The more comfortable you get with videos, the better, so that they can see your personality. Because remember, again, you are what they're buying into. They're not buying, yes, they're buying the product, but they're really buying into you as someone that they want to be partnered with and have as their coach. So the more that you can show you and your genuineness and your personality and how inviting you are, is only going to help you with converting them and with having them buy.
Well, you just said something that I have to work on, and I know it, and I guess I hit the ground running, but I'm sure everyone will come to a point where they realize they have to make these videos. It's just that it feels time consuming, but it has to be done. And that's the next thing I'm going to have to spend some time doing.
It does. And it does take some time. But once you have it, you have it for a long time. And so that's like anything. And I can definitely relate because I've been sitting here like, I need to do this video or, and so, but it definitely has helped. So many people are like, I really can relate to what you have to say. And again, the more that you can show you that you're a real person, a lot of people are really nervous about, just buying something on the internet, or nervous on, in terms of just buying a program, and they don't know if this is going to work for them. And so the more that you can show you and show that you are going to help them and your personality, it'll help with converting them and with getting them to feel comfortable with actually purchasing from you.
Yes, and the problem is the more successful you are in marketing, which is what Stephanie is spending all this time showing you, the more successful you are, the harder it is to duplicate the time it takes to spend talking with people. So the more you can kind of say, well, look at this and I'll get back to you, let me know, or hey, get back to me after you see this. I think that's where I am right now. Like, if the world does what I want them to do right now, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. I actually need to do some of the videos.
Yeah. And again, and what I like about, marketing is something, especially if you're a new coach watching this video or something, marketing is something, and your branding and your targeting is something that you develop over time. In the beginning, I targeted very wrong, not wrong, but I found that I was getting a lot of people who lacked confidence, who were not self-initiators. And it was because of a lot of how I was marketing myself and what I was talking about. And so realize that it's through trial and error, and you're not going to get it right from the beginning, and it's okay. And that's just how it is. You're supposed to be trying and growing. And the more that you grow yourself, like for me, 2016, I was talking with Luke, my mission, my kind of idea for our team is really growth. The idea of growth, the idea of really looking at what are the things in your life that are limiting you and how can you grow from them. And so it's the same thing with our marketing, with our branding. It's how can you grow yourself so that you can portray and attract people like you. You will attract who you are. And that's something that can be very humbling. And people just really honestly just want to see you. And like, I'll tell you right now, like this is the photo that's not doing as well. And I think I look great. I think it's a nice photo.
I know. Everybody says you look gorgeous. Reese was like, oh, Stephanie, she looks like a rock star, but it's not
actually,
regular.
and again, this is the one that I was saying that it's only getting 35 cents, but it's 26, and maybe these will be more focused people. I don't know. That's why I'm letting it run to kind of see and trial, because maybe it'll be a little bit more kind of people within my actual target. And so this person applied. And so that's good to know. But the one that does really well is this one, which again, like I said, is just a very kind of just really just in front of the camera. So it's interesting to me how, it's interesting, and you have to be willing to play around with ads, is my kind of advice to anyone who's kind of going to start, dabbling into ads. Facebook also just created a Facebook ads app for your smartphone, and I will be making a video now that just came out within the last like 1 to 3 weeks. It's very new, so I'm going to make a video probably just showing how you create an ad that way, because I know some people don't have a computer all the time, so they created it so that people can make an ad the same way that I just made it via the Power Editor, in a sense that you can create an ad, create it within the app. I haven't done it yet, but I've just used it to kind of monitor how my ad is doing. But you can also create an ad through the app now, and it's an actual separate app, just like, on your Android or your iPhone.
I read about it, and I was still struggling with the regular one, and I said, well, I better sit at the computer, because I didn't know what to do with it anyway. So.
And again, like I run the targeted ads, and and some people may ask like, oh, should I run like page ads? Should I run an ad to kind of just bring people to my page? And I did that in the beginning. I spent like $700 a month doing that, and it brought people to my page because I have like 22,000 people who like my page. But what I want you guys to understand too is that just because you have that many followers doesn't mean that everyone is seeing what you're posting. You still have to provide value, and the more that you have likes and shares and comments, that increases your affinity on Facebook. And so that means that more people are going to see it, and Facebook is going to push out your ad or your post to more people within your within your followers. A couple of things that I want to say about that is that the reason why I switched to targeted ads is that if I go to my insights, and this is something you get to once you're over 1,000 people on your followers, it tells you a lot of information. So your insights, I can look at my ads here, for example. So let's say, sorry, that's not what I want. I want to show you just something, just to share why I do this. A couple different things that I like about this. This tells you, for example, when your followers are on the most. So this is good data, so that if you're scheduling posts, like there's no reason for me to schedule a post at 7 a.m. because none of my followers are on at 7 a.m. That's my target. That's my audience of the people who follow my page. It's telling me that a lot of people are on, afternoon, between noon and, and midnight is when a lot of the people are on. So when I'm scheduling my posts or when I'm posting, I'm conscious of that, knowing that there's no reason for me to post at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, no one's going to see it. Or at least the people who are following my page are not going to see it. And so this is just good data. Again, Facebook, this is why Facebook like pages are really great, because it gives you this data once you're over 1,000 followers. So what I want to show you though is when I go to this tells you how your posts are doing. So it tells you, your reach. Obviously, the more reach, that's telling you that this is what your audience likes. And I'm still learning almost 3 years in what my audience likes, because they're very fickle. I don't, sometimes I'll think I posted a great quote and it doesn't get any likes, or I post something random and it gets a lot of likes. I know that they like doctoring because I'm a doctor. So anything that I post about being a doctor or my experience gets a lot of likes. But those are also harder posts for me to write because I take a little bit more time to really think about what I want to say. But at the end of the day, if that's what has to, like this was a doctor post and it got 3.5 thousand. So it was already doing well. So then what I did was, since I knew it was doing well, I boosted it for $2, $2-3. And I got even more people to come and like my page, and to more people. So I'll show you, for example, whenever you boost a page, it'll tell you the information. So this had 91 likes, comments, or shares. It had 92 post clicks. So what that means is that 92 of the people who came to see that, who came and saw that, clicked on other parts of my business page. That's really good information to know. That's what we want. We want people looking at our page. 26 photo views. That means 26 of those people went and looked at my photos. So this is good information to know, so that you're like, okay, this is what my audience is liking. This is what's bringing people to my page. And it tells you that, and so that's what I like to use. So 85 likes and 85. And so I use that information. And that's why I started doing the targeted posts, is what I call them, because I know that, as opposed to just having a like page that brings people to my page, that they may not even look at my post. They may just click the like button and not even look at anything. At least I know if I have, if it's a targeted ad, they're at least looking at that ad. And then it's also going to bring people to like my page. So to me, it's like a double, it's like it serves two purposes: to add people to like my page, as well as at least they're looking at that specific ad. And I can at least maybe potentially capture them that way.
I know this is not what we were talking about originally, but I've been struggling with the idea that I need to consider a like page. But I'm like, oh my goodness, something else I have to do. Mm-hmm. But if it's going to give you the data that you need in the long run.
Yeah. So like pages, and I actually, and that's something I'm probably going to change in 2016 when I talk to new coaches. Like pages are really great because like pages allow you to reach more people. Again, a personal Facebook page is great because that's your warm market when you first start. But there are some teams, for example, that will tell their coaches to start a like page right away. And really, though, I don't want where coaches get in trouble is when they create a like page and they really try to separate it and make it just a business page. You have to realize that your like page is basically like your personal page. So you can do it one of two ways. If you're a new coach and you only have a really small market on your personal page, one thing you can consider doing is just creating a business page and then really just converting all those 100 people. Maybe you just have 100 friends, 200 friends, get them to like your business page, and then just stick and grow your business page. And like not even really post on your personal page as much, but really keep your personal page open, because that's how you'll add people to your challenge group. That's how you'll want to bring them over to friends. That's one idea. Or you could do like what I did, which is I posted both. So I don't change the content that I make on both. So I post the same content on both. However, now I'm in this kind of predicament where I am maxed out on friends, and I actually want to just really focus on my like page and really try to convert a lot of those people to my like page, because I also know that the more popular my posts are on my like page, the more it's going to push out into the other followers that are on my like page. So if I can get the 30, 60, 100 people who really follow me on my personal page to actually follow me on my business page and like my comments, that's only going to help me more to actually reach more people, because it's going to push it out to the other followers. And so, and another thing is that if you're using Instagram, for example, you can, double post. If you post on Instagram, you can push it to Facebook. So you don't have to feel so overwhelmed, because you can post the same content. And so I would really advise, a business page is something that's very useful, and you don't have to kind of think about posting different things. Just really look at it as just a duplication of your personal page. Or if you're someone who's brand new and you only have 100 friends on your personal page, then maybe just really focus on your business page and not post as much on your personal page.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, I really like, and again, it's great, and there's messages, you could do messages. Again, there's so much about a like page. It's like, this is like turned from like an ad to like a like page video, but
but it's important.
Yeah, there's so much. What I like about it, for example, and you guys may or may not know this, so you can tell if you can let people know you're away. You can, say that you can set business hours. You can say, I'm only open from 9 to 6 p.m. and on the weekends I'm off. You can, it keeps a running. This is a separate, message box from your personal page. You can also, when you go to make your page, you can choose a saved reply. So that's really nice, is that you can create saved replies and you can create new replies. And so like at work, I can't chat right now, or you can say script one, like, see, hey, Jessica, I host a small private challenge group. So that's something that's really nice as well, is that you can have saved replies so that if they say, I want more information, you could just, click on your saved reply, and just click script one. Hey, how are you? Super, excited that you're really interested. And what's nice is that it already puts in your first name already for the person to make it a little bit more personalized. So again, another thing that's nice about the saved. And then the other thing that's really nice is you can schedule your post. So that's really nice too, is that, especially for busy people like we all are, like all successful coaches are really busy people. It's not like we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs with all this time. You can really, schedule your posts, and it's just a really great feature to be able to schedule your post.
Wow. Well, I want you to do something else, and you may not be able to do it. Knowing you can. But that was something that I wanted to do next month, is actually got a great recommendation for a makeup artist and a photographer in my area, from somebody who I really think knows what the heck they're talking about. So I was going to schedule that stuff for January. And so that's when I didn't want to launch a page without pictures, obviously. So I was going to get pictures done. And so I wanted to know, kind of a list of, these are 10 pictures you should try to get,
Well, again, it also depends, I would think, I think it depends on what you're trying to market and how you're trying. Like for me, in the beginning, I really was fitness focused. And so definitely having photos of just you in fitness gear, or maybe just doing like a plank, like those are really nice planks. You definitely want something more of a lifestyle, I would say. So something where you're dressed more casually, looking very inviting, just smiling. Honestly, those are the ones that do really well, just really well. Like you don't necessarily need fitness ones. As I've kind of developed my brand, I want to attract more entrepreneur mindsets. So more kind of professional looking, more lifestyle photos. So I would just say that you definitely want a headshot. You want something where you're looking really nice outside, and then you can just have like 1 or 2 fitness shots, where you're just either doing a plank, or like this one where I'm just standing here, just looking ahead, looking out into the distance. Those are all different kind of things you can do in terms of when you're working with a photographer.
Yeah, I need to get that stuff done, and that's another reason I haven't really made a decision about the like page, but it's something that I've got to do. So
I know Amy, I'll show you right now, like Amy just took these. So you see how she just has like really cute lifestyle, just lifestyle images that she took. I also, just recently got some lifestyle, images, but you'll see, she has these are all from her recent, she's a mom, so she promotes that, highlights that. And so really, Sophie's another great one who has,
Mhm.
highlights, she has this one where she's out, lounging, and she has this one where she just looks really, inviting, really friendly. But she's in normal, regular clothes. So the more kind of lifestyle laid back. Another person who has some really nice, lifestyle pictures that I like to follow, Andrea Crowder has some really nice, she'll have some really nice lifestyle photos, where if I click on her photos, I don't know if I'll be able to see some of them, but she just typically will have like just really cute photos, professionally done, but they're just lifestyle, or, like these are super cute, like if you're going to have a white black backdrop where you can then add really fun, this color is like stunning on a white background. I've seen so many
Exactly. Bright,
coaches.
bold. I look really good in cobalt blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing now that you speak about that, really think about the colors that you're going to wear, vibrant colors so that, you look inviting. But really kind of think about that, blues, and especially if you're a darker skin tone, blues and corals. And, but yeah, this little outfit looked really nice on her. And she took several photos that she could really use to kind of use, and kind of use along the way, whenever things were happening. So.
Right. And then when you want to make an ad, it's a lot easier also.
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha.
But those, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the ads, and again, it's an investment. I think it's well worth the investment, especially because, you need to figure out ways to grow outside of your warm market. And a lot of coaches will come in with a really small market. I started, I had 1,000 friends when I started, and I started running ads 6 months in, or, actually, no, I'm sorry, not 6 months in, to a year in. So after a year, I started in July. So actually a little over a year, when I started really tapping out my warm, again, I had 1,000 friends. So I had a lot of people, and I actually was growing my Instagram. I actually just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm very excited about that, because it just shows consistency and posting every single day. But that's the thing about this business, is it's the consistency of making sure that you're posting every single day. You cannot, you are now building a brand for yourself that you need to show up every single day.
Yeah, and and the friends and all that. And so I'm learning. I mean, you don't realize how much you must learn. The curve is steep.
It is steep. The curve is very, very steep. But, what I like to tell people is that, really think about what is the message that you want to relate to people. And again, this is going to develop as you develop. And you may say, well, I don't know. Well, really challenge yourself to think about, if I had 100,000 followers, what would I want to say? What do I want to stand for? What do I want my legacy to be on my page? What do I want people to see when they come to my page? And a couple questions that I think are really good to ask yourself, especially if you are a new Beachbody coach or you are a coach in general, just someone that's branding yourself, make sure that within the first couple posts, do they know what you do? Do they know that you have a challenge group starting? Do they know that they can do what you do? And those are 3 questions that they should be able to answer right away, not having to scroll through, tons of pictures on your page. And if they cannot answer that, then you're not posting enough about your challenge groups, or the idea that you have something that you can offer them, or the idea that they can do what you're doing. And that is something you have to kind of break through and really challenge yourself to be consistent and to be transparent and to post that type of content. And really kind of, one thing that I heard the other day is that, when you're thinking about branding yourself and what to post about, or, you really want to make a list of what's the same about us. We all work out, we all need to lose weight, we all, want to get in shape. And then what's different about you, and that is what you want to be posting about. What's different about you? Tony's a doctor, I'm a doctor. Neither one of us are mothers. So we're not going to be posting about being a mom. We're not moms, but that's a whole market that if you're a mom, you may say, wow, this is everybody, but hey, I'm not a mom and Tony's not a mom. And that's something that's different about you. Maybe you had a C-section, maybe you're breastfeeding, maybe, you're a runner. Maybe you like to go running in the morning. You like to jog. Maybe you like to read books. Maybe you like quote, don't underestimate you. Don't underestimate what makes you different. You may think it's common, but it's actually not common, and not everyone is like you. So really kind of thinking about what makes you different from other people around you and highlighting those things. And, maybe your past, certain things in your past will make you different. Maybe there's certain struggles you've gone through that'll make you different. Realizing that in our business is all about relatability and people feeling comfortable with us. And so the more that you share who you are and be transparent about your struggles in your everyday life, the more you're going to be more successful, within this business.
Got it. You of course never let me down. I have lots of homework now.
Well, hopefully and again, I don't want people to get really, when it comes to ads, there is a trial and there is a trial error, but I'm hoping that if you guys know what you should be looking for to see if it's successful, that it'll allow you not to be spending more money than you need to. So like, for example, I ran that ad and it's 35 cents. I've only had it up for, however many hours. So I'm already kind of looking at it. I'm like, okay, am I going to spend more money? Right now this ad has been up for 19 hours and it's been 35 cents. And I'm like, I probably won't, spend more money on that. But I've, given it 24 hours and kind of seen, and then you kind of say, okay, this is working. I will tell you right now, this ad that does really well, like this has only been running, see the difference, 19 hours, but yet now this one has 314 likes, already has 3 emails, and like 5 people already filled out a Woofu form. So it's a very different, there's more, I'm getting more from this ad. So I'm definitely going to continue to kind of put money to this ad. So you can definitely so like if you know that information, use that to guide you, and then just kind of play around with it, and don't get frustrated, because I know a lot of coaches get overwhelmed, but realize that this is just something you need to learn. Take the time to sit down, and then you'll just get better with it. You'll get better as you kind of go, you kind of do it.
Yeah, that's where I am now. I did the Woofu forms. I've dabbled in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten more photos. And so, steps. Now I'm coming back to it and saying, okay, let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah. The Woofu forms are great. And then using Streak. Streak is really great too. And it's just and then staying more organized with that's one of my other goals for 2016 is just organization and staying more organized with what I'm doing. But the Woofu forms are really great to kind of gather data or any type of form, and then using Streak to kind of follow up with people in the future, because then you can send mass emails with Streak and et cetera.
All right. Well, thank you for, getting that done for me. I guess I better work out now.